Hey everyone, welcome back. And of course, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Yanni, and of course, this is Diane. We are doing together this DIY channel. If you like this content, of course, because I want to keep it short, if you like this content, click the red subscribe button. And of course, if you want to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find all the links for our YouTube channels with lots and lots of DIYs to see. For today, of course, we are going to make 2 new tumbling towel blocks inspiration DIY. So if you like this, get out your tumbling towel blocks, get out your glue gun and join us. And if you only want to watch, have fun watching. So for today's DIY, we are going to use, of course, our tumbling towel blocks. What would we do without it? Some paint at your choice. I use my wood glue, I use my glue gun. I have, of course, some brushes and some wax. I don't know if I use it, but do whatever you think it's right. What we're going to make for today is, of course, a Christmas sled, like you call it. Here in the net we call it sleigh, because sled is also means something something different here in the Netherlands. So I will use a lot of the word sleigh, so then you will know what I mean is just sled, but I call it sleigh. So we are going to start with our DIY. So we are going to start with the bottom of our sleigh. What we're going to do, I'm going to do the sides, of course, some glue, and I'm going to place this together in one straight line and remove the glue you don't need. We are going to make 6 of parts of 2, because we need 2 pieces up for the underside of our sleigh. And this is number 3, and it's very easy, just squeeze it together, press it down. And number 4, be sure that you have them in a straight line. That works a little better if you want to glue the rest together. This is number 5, and number 6, the last one for now. We are going to place them together this way. Now we are going to get 3 on each side. We're going to look which one is fitting the best. Of course, you see already some glue is coming out, and I'm going to look for this is working perfectly. So I'm going to get my glue, I'm going to glue them together. So we have already 1, and now we go for the second one, and we're going to glue this one also together. So this is already number 1. We're going to do the same, just look for if everything is fitting quite nicely. It does. Now we're going to glue it and squeeze it together this way in a straight line. And now we're going to go for the last piece, and then we already have the start of the bottom of our sleigh. I also made a Christmas sleigh on my other channel, on All About Christmas. Very in the early when I started it All About Christmas a year ago. And if you want to see it back, the Christmas DIY, go over to the channel and you see already there also very below you see also a Christmas sleigh and also the Santa's bag. So if you like this, you can always watch it. I'm going to go now for again 2 pieces like this together, and again squeeze it, press it down. This is already number 1. I have to remove the glue like this, and we go for a second one. And what we're going to do, because I want to have the little curls on the top, on the front of the sleigh, I want to do a little bit different. Because you can do, of course, 2 blocks like this, at least half block, 2 more, and a little bit 1 this way. But we are going to do it different. If it is nice, I really have no idea, because I never made one. So we are going to, I think maybe a little overlay like this. I think maybe, yeah, 1/4 of your block. It is not, this is the half, and I think I'm going for this one. So I'm just going to do some glue like this, and I'm just going to place it over here and squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to lay this one beside it, because we want to be sure that the other one is on the same direction. And again, do some glue and this way, and we're going to place it against this one and also on the same height. Squeeze it and press it down. And I have to look, yes, he's still on the same line. And we are going to go again for 2 blocks together. And this is already 1. And I don't know how big he will be, but I hope I can use it as a kind of a planter. And this is already number 2 for the other. And again, I'm going to look for, I'm going to do an overlay also again from 1/4. This way, and try to do it. And squeeze it and press it down. And I'm going to lay this one beside, and I'm hoping that I can get also this one on the same height again. That's why I use it as an example. This way. And now I'm going to squeeze it and press it down in a nice straight line. And again, we go again for the last, I think it will be the last of 2. But you never know. This is 1. And now we go for the other 2. And I'm going to do again an overlay for 1/4. But you don't have to do it. You can also do a little bit more. If you like more overlay is also fine. Do whatever you think is right. I think like this. Make a straight line, and I'm going to place it against each other. And I'm going to place this one against it on the same height again. Go and leave and squeeze it down in a straight line again. So we already have 2 of our pieces. Now we need something for the back side. So now for a little piece of the back side, we do a 1 of 2. Very easy, just squeeze it and press it down this way. And I remove the glue. And he's still moving a little bit. I have used some new kind of this glue sticks because they were with the glue gun. I just bought a new one. It's the same, but a new one. But I don't like the glue sticks which are coming with the glue gun because it gets, it doesn't glue the greatest. So I'm not really happy with it, but I'm just making them so you don't waste it, so you use them, but I'm not really happy with it. So again, I'm use this one as an example. I'm going to make another one, squeeze it and press it down like this, and I'm going to do some glue and this way, and I have to look that I have it on the same height. And this way, of course, I have to be sure that I have it over here and squeeze it. You still see, you can still move it, and normally with wood glue you can't move it. I have them on the same height this way. So the 2 layers for our sleigh are finished, and now we have our 2 pieces of our sleigh. The under pieces I'm going to lay them beside of at least this way, and also this on this side. What I'm going to do, because I want to make it a little different than normally, I'm going to do some glue on the top. I'm going to place some block over here. This is 1. I'm squeeze it, and I'm remove it from my mat, and of course always is coming some glue off. I'm going to do again some glue on the top, and I'm going to squeeze 1 block this way, remove the glue, and we are going to make sure that nothing is on the side because we need this smaller side. So we have to be sure that there is no glue on it, because then he doesn't fit the greatest. So again, remove it. I'm sorry, I always love to show you also things that going not so fast as I hope that you do. So I'm going to get my wood glue and I'm going to lay this. Of course, I have to look for the greatest. I think this will glue the best. So I'm going to go for one line of wood glue over here, and I'm going to place it exactly in the middle of this over here, and I'm going to squeeze it and press it down, not too hard, but at least that it gets some pressure. And this way, and this is how he's looking like right now. And on this side he's looking this way. And we let this dry for 1.5 hours. I will make the second one. Our underpieces are almost dried up. What we're going to do, we are going to place with some wood glue, we are going to place blocks. We are going to do some wood glue like this, and we're going to place it in the middle on the block. You see already one block over here, this full block, and we are going to place this one on the side, totally on the ending, like this, exactly on the other, this way. And we're going to do on the other side the same. Just do some wood glue and place it again over here. Make sure that you have it in the middle of the other block, and this way. And we're going to let this one dry, and we're going to do on the other one the same. I'm going to get, oop, you see already he's falling down, and that's not that's also DIYing. Believe me, some things go right, some things go wrong. So he's already finished, and we are going to let this dry. And I'm going to get this one and I'm going to place it on top of here, also at the ending over here. And of course he does have to stand, and he doesn't like to stand on his own. And again, I have to squeeze it and press it down. And now I'm going to do the last block, also a little glue, and I'm going to place it on this side over here, and I let this dry also. Now we are going to make 3 blocks, 2 blocks of 3. So we're going to do one on top of each other, and this way. This is number 1, of course number 2, and you already have your first piece of 3. And I'm going to make a second one, and this is number 2, and the last number 3. And what we're going to do, we are going to glue them together. I have to be sure that I have it in a straight line, and I'm going to look for if I'm going to do it this way. I think I'm going for this way. So I'm going to get my wood glue. I'm going to do them together with some wood glue, not with my glue gun. The same like this, and we are going to place it on here, squeeze it, and let this dry for 1.5 hours again. So I took again the under pieces of my sleigh and I did place them over here. What I'm going to do some glue on the tops of our blocks, and a little glue over here, and a little glue over here, and over here, and over here. And now we get the hard part, because we need, this is not totally dry yet, but we are already want to have it over here. So we're going to glue this one, and I have to be sure that I have it on the straight line, almost identical on top of each other. and I have to remove a little, and over here, and I have to feel that I have it in a straight line like this, and then I'm going to give it some pressure, and I let this dry also for 1.5 hours. So our bottom of our sleigh is almost finished, and it even looks like, when I look at it right now, it even looks like a gondola you find in Italy in the, in the water. So I give no guarantees if it will really look like a sleigh. So we will see how this will turn out. So I'm going to go now further with the top side of our sleigh. We are going now to do the bottom of the sleigh, and we are going to take 7 blocks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to glue them very easily together just with a little line of wood glue. Of course, I hope it has no intention of gluing. He thinks if you want to do it yourself. I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to make little lines, and I'm going to do only with 6 of them because the 7th one only need to close up. And this. Now I'm going to place it down and do this one on this side. Of course, this one on this side. Turn it over and do this one on this side. This side. Turn it over and this. And we go closing it up with this one. Make a nice straight line. Squeeze it. And again, a nice straight line again. And of course, I know a lot of the blocks are not fitting the best because the measurements sometimes are totally off, even when you have the same package. I know I have the same problem like you have, so don't worry about it. So again, we're going to do another 7 of these blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number 6, and block number 7. So now we're going to row them again together, and this way, and this, and this, and this, and the last one for closing it up. Again, squeeze a little, make a straight line, and like this, and then again squeeze it again on each other, and we are going to let it dry for at least a half hour before we're going to glue both of them together. So both of them are not dried up totally, but they are dried in, and then we can take them and we're going to give one side a little bit of the glue, just a little in the middle, this way, and I'm going to lay it down, and we're going to squeeze it together very tightly this way, and then we also let this dry in for a half hour before we're going to build further. We are going to let the bottom dry in a little bit further, so we lay it apart, and we're going to take 6 blocks again, and we're going to row them also on each other very easy, the same like we did with the other one. So this is 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, and we are going to again row them together this way very easily, squeeze it and make a nice straight line, and we are going to lay this apart also and let this dry for, of course, also a couple of minutes. We're going to take 3 blocks and again 3 blocks. So we do the same of 3, 1, 2, and this is belong together, and this is 1 and 2, and we make little rows of 3. Again the same over here, and squeeze it and press it down, and this way we lay them over here. And now what we're going to do, because we need of course also a little bench in between. So, and we are going to make this from 2 blocks, because if you imagine he will be coming in here, so we need 2 of 2. So again, we're going to do 1, and we glue this one together, and we need another one, and we're going to glue this one together, and we have to squeeze it and press it down. And I take always my little old towel with is a little bit with some water, and I always easily get my mat clean, because or else you are working in your own glue, and that's not a great a great thing to do. So most of the time I also turn it over and let the glue on the other side wipe away. This one also squeeze and move away the glue, turn it over, and like this. Now we have 2 pieces of 2, but we need of course glue them together. And we're going to do this way, squeeze it and press it down, and this way. And we also get our towel and wipe away the glue we don't need. We're going to, on this side, turn it over and do it on this side the same. Squeeze it, press it down, and we're going to let this dry. Now our 6 block, our 2 pieces of 4, you see, like this, and these are the 2 loose of 3 blocks, and the 6. We lay this down. We're going to do some glue on this side, because we are going to glue it against here. So we could do some glue on the underside over here and lay it down. We do some glue over here on the underside, and we're going to lay it this way, and this one will be glued over here. So we're going to do some glue. This will be the bench where you can sit on. I'm going to glue this, I think, over here, and this way I'm going to keep it in place, and I'm squeeze it, and of course I have to look where I have a little glue, maybe over here. I hope I am in the same direction. Over here, just a little, maybe a little lower, like this. So I'm going to place them on this way, and I'm going to squeeze it and make sure that they are in the same direction, and this way. And now we're going to let this dry for 1.5 hours. In the meantime, while the bench is also drying, we need the front side of the sleigh, and we are going to do very easy again, just 2 blocks on this, and we're going to place them together the same like we did earlier. Just squeeze it, and again with this one also squeeze it, press it down, and we are going to do some glue on this side and glue this one also together this way, and we make a nice 4-piece. And I get my little towel again, and I'm going to wipe away the glue, and this way, and squeeze it and remove it, and place it on the side so it can dry a little better. And I'm just going to let this dry also. I thought my camera was running, but it wasn't. I did also 2 blocks together this way, just on the tops, and this way together, and I did glue it on our 4-piece we just made. I glue it on the sides, very easy. Just do it on this side, and then you have your this piece. This is how it turned out. This is the 4-piece, and these are the 2-piece. I just I thought I did my camera on, but I didn't. So this is already also from our little sleigh. So we are going to build it together. I'm going to take the middle piece, which will be inside of on the frame of our sleigh. We are going to do some glue on the underside of our bench, and this way over here, and make sure that, because we don't want that it's falling off, we are going to place it over here, And I'm going to make sure that we have it in a straight line. And the back side is of course also in a straight line. This way, and then squeeze a little. Press it down. And now you already have the back side of your sleigh. And now we need, of course, the front of our sleigh. We're going to place it over here, but of course you see we have an opening over here, and I don't like that. So I'm probably going for one block on this side. So we're going to place, I have to look for if this is a nice side, of course, because you don't know. Yes, this is fine. So I'm going to do first some glue on this side and on the other side. And this way I'm going to place it on here, and I'm going to place this one on this side, and I'm going to place another block on this side. Very easy, and just squeeze it together. And we have to let this dry also a couple of minutes, at least until it is sunk into the wood, and then we're going to place it on top of here too. So we turn it over and we are going to give it some glue, and then it can dry in totally in 1.5 hours, because if we wait too long, then the other one is already dried up. And again, make a straight line over here and just let this dry. You see already it is already looking like the inside of a sleigh. My bench is drying of our sleigh, but I was missing something on my underpiece. I am going to get the half blocks. So I always have a box with half blocks of my tumbling towel blocks. So I'm going to glue one in the middle, but leaning over a little part like this. So I'm going to do some glue on this part, and I'm going to place it over here in the middle and this way, and I'm going to do the same on this side. And I'm doing a little glue over here, and I'm going to place this one also over here in the middle. And I hope when I measure out that I am correctly, and over here. And I'm going to do on the back side the same, just a half block. Again, a little glue on the ending, and just place it in the middle and just over here. And we do the same here. And also in the middle, squeeze it and make sure that I think we need to go a little bit forward and this way. And we're going to let this dry also. Our bench is almost ready for painting, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the backside a little overflow because I like that. So I'm going to get my wood glue and just do on the top a little glue, and of course on this top also. And what I'm going to take, because 2 blocks are too small, I'm going to take 1/3 of a block. You see already, this is almost 1/3 of the block, and I'm going to glue it on here and squeeze it and wait until it is dry, and then I'm going to glue it on the ending of our bench to give it a little bit of an overlay. At least I hope it's called that way, and at least you, I think you already know what I mean. So I'm going to let this dry and glue this on top of here in a moment. So my blocks are almost dried up. I'm just going to do only the back side of the line. So only this side. And I'm going to lay it on top of here. Be careful because it's still not dried up. I'm going to give it an overlay. And I make sure that it's in the middle. And now I'm going to hold it and squeeze a little with some pressure, and that is also we are going to let this dry, and then we're going to paint everything separately before we glue it. And I told you I was leaving this alone, but I thought maybe if I do one block on top of here, it even looks nicer, at least for me. This is just optional. You don't have to do it. I just like it, just to give it a little bit height on the back side of our bench. So I'm going to place it in the middle like this. And now we're going to really let it dry. Everything is ready for painting or waxing or staining, just what you want. You can give it your own choice at color. I'm going to do a little bit of the red, but not totally red, because I do a little mix. And I just dab it also, so not a really thick layer on top of here. I'm going to go in the middle, only this middle piece I'm going to do a little bit in the red color. And just do it this way. And I'm going to dab it. I know it looks now very hard in coloring, and I hope later that it will look better. Now we take first the underside of our sleigh, and we're going to do it in some furniture wax. This side we don't have to do in some furniture wax because this will be glued. And of course later on, when everything is in the wax, I'm going to get a little bit of the iron color, and I'm going to color this a little bit, to stress it with some iron, and of course also on the underside on this side. It gives a little bit more like it is the Sledge is iron on the underside. But first we are going to take our furniture wax, and I always use the very cheap brand, so go ahead, don't buy too expensive brands, because it doesn't do it better or less than the cheaper ones. It's only furniture wax, so be always kind, I say, to your wallet. Don't pay too much. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to do the next step. So the base of our sled is already in the furniture wax, and I'm going to let this dry, and now I'm going to go and I'm going to do the little bench, of course, which is blank. I'm going to do now with some furniture wax, also to give it a little bit more like a rustic look. So everything is painted, also the little sleigh itself, but of course the underside, I told you I'm going to distress it a little bit, the smaller part, with some iron color, and I'm just using a little bit of the dark gray. And of course, like always, I didn't remember that this one was already a new one. I already made the other one up. So again, we are starting with the gray, iron gray color, like this. And I'm going to do a little tip on our, over here. It looks almost like black. So again, just take a little piece and wipe the most of the pieces away. And I take a little bit of the smaller brush, and I'm just going to go very easily, just a little bit on the edges of our smaller piece. Not too much, just a little bit, to give it a little bit of distressing. It doesn't have to be enough, but if you don't like distressing and you don't really want to do it, don't do it, because you don't have to. So this is only just something I am thinking from, how would it look like. Maybe a second time I don't do it also anymore, but I think it turns out, at least I hope it turns out very nice. So I'm going to distress this, and then we're going to work further on our sleigh, because it gets a nice Christmas print. In the meantime, while our underpart is drying, we are going to get our little sleigh, and I'm going to go to my computer. I'm going to make a print for the front, and of course for around the back side. So I will show you this in a minute. And here you see the print I made. I hope it looks it looks nice on top of our sleigh, but we will see. I will cut them out, and then I'm going to Mod Podge them on top of our sleigh. So of course you know already how to Mod Podge. I'm going to do one together with you. It's just the front side. I'm just going to take my print, turn it over on a clean piece of kitchen towel. I'm doing some Mod Podge over here because I want to keep the top very matte looking. So I'm not going to do a second time with my Mod Podge over my print. But if you like a little bit more of the shiny color, it's also fine to do whatever you think is right. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to lay this on the back side and I'm going to place it in the middle. I think over here. At least I hope I have the right height, so or else moving is always very difficult most of the time. So, and you see, this is already the front, and now I'm going to do the back side, but I won't bore you with that because I think you already know how to Mod Podge the back side. You see, now on both sides is our print, and I know you see it backwards, but when you see the quick impression, you will see the right way. This is just my telephone, don't worry. So I did it on the front, and now I'm debating. I have a gold marker if I will go around the picture frame with the gold and also over here. So I am really debating with myself if I think it looks nice or not. So you will see in a moment if I did or not. And you see, I did. I couldn't help myself, so I did it with a marker with gold around my label. Now I'm going to get my wood glue and I'm going to glue my top of my sleigh on top on the under piece. So it's very easy. Just do some wood glue like this, and that's why I didn't paint this part. So I am sure that everything would stick in place. So I do enough glue because it has to hold. And I'm going to place it on top. I have to look, of course, that I have it in the middle, but not totally on the front. So I really have to look for a little like this. So I let this dry for at least 1.5 hours. Our sleigh is drying, and what I'm going to do, I have an old pillowcase in the green color. You see, it's a little bit of the furry side. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off this side with the hairy, and I'm going to make a square, and that square I'm going to squeeze together and do some filling inside, and then I'm going to do some little branches and some little berries and some greenery. Then you can a piece of twine over it, and then you have a little bit of the sack of Santa Claus. Well, I already would say Sinterklaas, but that's a holiday we still celebrate here in the Netherlands. Of course, I mean Santa Claus. So I'm going to cut it out, and then you see what I mean. So you see, I have already the pillowcase in 3 pieces. This piece, a little white, yeah, a little bit organza looks like. I'm going to use this as a filling for our sack, and of course the back side of our pillow. I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to cut out a square, because if I do it here, everything will be under the hair. So I'm going to do that in my garage. So I did cut out my square. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it some filling in here, and I'm going to take the points and I'm going to go over here and make it like a little sack. Of course, we are going to do our points in our hand this way. We are going to get some greenery and we are going to place it inside. At least I'm going to try to place it inside like this, and of course a bigger one. And of course I have to work a little bit with it because this is fur, and fur does not work the way you want it you want it to go. So again, squeeze it down and make sure that you get it in a straight line. I'm going to get some berries and I'm going to work them inside. And I have no idea how this will look like, so bear with me if it doesn't look the greatest, but we are going to give it a try. And now I'm going to get my piece of twine and I'm going to bend it over and make a knot inside. But I want to, this takes a little time, so I'm going to go for the knot and you will see in a moment how it's looking like. You see, this is how he's turned out. He's a little big. I don't know if he is too big. We will see. But I am already loving it. He is so cute. What I'm going to do, I only have two little pieces of the twine over here. I'm going to get my twine again and I'm going to do a couple of turns. Very easy this way and this way. So I think 4 times. And I'm just going to make a nice little bow. Very easy, just the same way you tie your shoes. And I'm going to get them out of here and I'm going to make a nice bow this way. At least I'm going to try to make a nice bow. And of course I have to be sure that all of them are in here before I'm going to cut it. I'm going to let this come here this way. Of course, I think I'm missing one of the threads. You see, this is how he's looking like, and I'm going to cut it off. And this way. And I'm going to get my glue and I'm going to glue it as exactly in the middle over here. So we get a nice little touch. And you see, I did cut out also from the fabric a longer piece, just a very small one. And I laid it over here just like a little blanket you can sit on if you make a ride with the sleigh. And I also did it in the dark green color, the same like I did with the sack of Santa. Here in the net also the word sack is a different word with us. So sometimes I always have to smile with some kind of words which are in English or in Dutch. So in a moment you see a quick impression of our sleigh and then you can decide if you think this turned out as a sleigh or not. And here you see a quick impression of our Christmas sled. Of course, I call it sleigh in the video, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean. I am so happy how he turned out. Of course, he is different. I can't say otherwise. I don't know if you like it. Leave me a comment down below. I think I like a little bit unique and different. Of course, in the moment I showed you a little bit closer, I hope you took out also your tumbling towel blocks and did this DIY together with me. But if you're only loving just watching, it's also fine too. And of course, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed to our channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. For now, of course, I wish you all an amazing day and I see you next time. Bye.